I definitely think Richmond's 2024 AFL draft is going to be one of the most interesting drafts we have ever seen. And lucky for content creators like myself who need to make content and make money to put food on the table for, well, just me. There is a lot of news that continues to come out about Richmond, and we're going to be going over all of that and more, everything to do with the draft, everything you pretty much need to know that's come out recently. Again, I've got my hair down. Look at my forehead is literally so burnt right now. Like, it looks like it's kind of crispy. I got absolutely cooked at the Caulfield races the other day, and yeah, I regret standing up the top and just watching the sun touch me without consent, which it pretty much did. Again, if you haven't already as well, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. There's still a decent amount of you guys who watch these videos who are not subscribed yet to the channel, so it would mean a lot, and it would make a big difference to me if you guys know what I mean. And yeah, you guys don't need to go and roast my forehead in the comments because the sun has already done that. You know what? I'm gonna mark my territory. I'm just gonna leave my hair up and you guys can see my red ass forehead. But a recent report here does suggest that Richmond are reportedly the best chance of trading up to pick 2. Pick 6 and a later first round pick may get it done. Also anticipated that pick 24 is the most likely pick to be traded for a future first. So a lot to really look at there. I've been seeing a ton of people say that Richmond will trade pick 6 and 24 to move up to pick 2. But I genuinely believe that North Melbourne not only would 100% decline that, but they are going to be asking for so much more. What is my dog doing? He's playing with the ball by himself. That's actually kind of sad and lonely, but you know what? I respect his grind. I play with my balls by myself all the time, so I understand what he's trying to do here. But I think if Richmond are going to try and move up to pick 2, which don't get me wrong, they're definitely going to, I think, maybe offer a deal to North. I would think it would probably be something more like pick 6 and 18 would get the deal done. I don't think North are going to want a pick in the late 20s, which it will probably become due to the fact that, you know, all the bid matching with the father sons, the academy players, all of the above. It's probably going to go from pick 24 to bloody 38 at this rate. I don't think North are going to want that, but I do think there is a massive chance North could be looking to trade down, just because it's being reported that they are going to be looking at a defender, and a player like Alex Taru or Luke Trainer will probably be more or so available at like that 8 to 12 mark. So if they reach on a guy like that at pick 6, it won't matter too much, and they can obviously go and bring in another first round pick if they really wanted to. So I think it would be like 6 and 18. It won't be like 6 and 24. In terms of this report saying if we trade a future first, it would maybe be 24. I actually can see how that's going on. If Richmond get to 24 and they're like, we've taken absolutely everyone we want, we no longer have anyone on the board that we need, let's move on 24 into next year and maybe get a later pick in this draft, I think Richmond would look at it. They could seriously get a future first and like pick 40 in this draft, just because of how stacked it is, that somehow 24 will end up even to 40 in this year's draft and like 18 next year. That's just the crazy reality of how this draft is just so built and so stacked, like we know. Again, I also think if Richmond were going to maybe trade a pick, I think a lot of teams will come calling for that pick 11. And why I say that is because Richmond will have 1, 6, and 10, obviously. And by the time they get all those players, they might think that the players they want later on could fall to like 15 or 16. So Richmond could very well go up to a team and be like, look, we want pick 17 from you guys, and we want your future first. And you guys can move all the way up to 11 and take your dream target. You know, we'll also throw in a future 4th or something like that in the deal. I don't really know. I think something like that could very well happen. There'll be definitely teams that are really going to be trying to overpay to move up in this draft to get the guy they want. So I think that pick may also be shopped around, but I wouldn't be surprised if Richmond just took all 8 picks into the draft and we're happy with what happens. Again, outside of that, there is a massive report that I've spoken about on the channel as well, but it's just being all that and more confirmed. But it's being said that Richmond still has pick 1, which is widely expected to be used on midfielder forward Sam Lawler. It was also said by Cal Toomey on Richmond's pick number 1 options. He said he wears number... Brady, I'm trying to make a video and you're cock blocking my audio, man. He wears number 4. He likes the fend off. He reminds me of a certain guy who just left the Richmond Football Club, and that's on Sam Lawler potentially being the first overall pick. So again, if we're going to talk about Sam Lawler, he's about 188 centimeters, midfielder / forward, who has absolutely dominated for the greater Western Victoria Rebels. I've watched some of this guy's film, and I'm going to be honest here, I've never seen a player in all the drafts since Dustin Martin actually look like Dusty. You know, people think they compared De Goey to Dusty at the time. Not really, because at one stage De Goey was a half-back. I think everyone and their dad actually forgets that. But Cam Rayner was one of the big ones I remember who was really compared to Dusty. And you look at Cam Rayner now, and he's never ever come close to achieving Dusty's build, or really hasn't been able to, you know, I think recreate anywhere near of Dusty's forward craft ability in terms of being a really good contested forward. There's been a couple other guys here and there who have been compared to Dusty, and none of them have really ever come close. I mean, we're talking about pretty much the greatest player nearly of all time in the history of AFL. No one has really come close. But when I say this Sam Lawler guy, like, looks exactly like Dusty and he plays exactly like Dusty, the exact same height, all that type of stuff, yeah, it's literally being serious, and I genuinely believe he will probably go pick 1 at this rate. Again, he probably is ranked like 5, but the reason Richmond will probably take him at 1 is because there is no way he will fall down to pick 6, where Richmond will most likely be picking. From what I've heard, if North Melbourne do decide to keep pick number 2, their favourite player in the whole draft is actually Sam Lawler, and they have been hype on him for a very, very long time. So I believe that's why Richmond would be picking someone like Sam Lawler over Jagger Smith, because there's still a decent chance Jagger Smith could fall down in the draft. There is no chance Sam Lawler is falling past pick 2, especially if North Melbourne have it. At least I don't think. So I genuinely believe Richmond, they're kind of tweaking right now, because they probably thought they were going to take Finn O'Sullivan or someone like that. And now they've just locked in Sam Lawler, which probably wasn't the guy that they were expecting they were going to take a couple months ago. But, I mean, yeah, the guy is absolutely insane. And Richmond have the worst forward line in the AFL by far. I think Sam Lawler will be a guy who probably comes in straight away and plays like high half forward or something. He'll play probably like 60% high half forward, 40% midfield, and will rotate here and there. Very similar to how Dusty did at the start of his career. And Dusty did spend a lot, like, I think it was like 15 to 20% of his like first year on the bench because of how unfit and all of that type of stuff he was. From what I've heard, Sam Lawler is in a kind of a similar boat, so it will be interesting to see how that goes. But one thing Lawler has that Dusty doesn't is, I believe Lawler was actually the captain of Victoria Country, and apparently is a really good leader, which Richmond like have none of as well. So that would be awesome if we could get some leadership down at the Tigers too. But again, if you haven't already, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for the latest AFL content, sports content, all of the above. Don't forget to comment all of your thoughts and opinions on this down below. I'd very much like to know. Subscribe to my gaming channel, my IRL/vlogging channels as well, which will be getting all linked in the description. But as I was saying, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.